My name is Cassia. I'm an organizer with Orlando Against Police Crimes, and I'm here to tell you a little bit more about these two cases, why we're here today and what we're demanding. Before we get into the cases, I wanted to make note of something, which is through those doors on the podium from out here, you can read the words service, integrity, and respect. Those are the three words, I suppose, that are meant to define the FDLE. And I just want to point out that, service to whom, right? What service did the cops who shot Tyrone, Bartley, and Lopez, what service have they rendered to the families? What integrity do they have when we see these investigations go absolutely nowhere every single time? And what respect can we have for an office that time and time again refuses to hold police accountable when they shoot and kill our fellow community members with no accountability whatsoever? So service, integrity, and respect, I say shame, shame, shame. There is nothing respectful about the FDLE office, and they've proved that with the investigations that they've conducted over these two cases. David mentioned Luis Lopez's case. On February 8th, he asked for help. There was somebody in his home that he had been out drinking with. He didn't want him to stay. He wanted him out. He called to get the guy removed. They were in an altercation, most likely one that was, due to alcohol. And they're in this altercation. Within moments of the police showing up, within moments from outside the home, they fired shots into Luis's kitchen.
Open the door right now. Open the door. Open the fucking door. I can't see. Open the fucking door right now. Come on here. Come on here. Open the fucking door. Hey, drop the knife. 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 Drop it.
Into his kitchen window, through his kitchen window, they shot Luis in the head. No questions asked. They shot him in the head while he was asking for help. Ayúdame, he shouted. Ayuda, help. And as always, rather than just taking a single moment, just a single moment to try and have a discussion, to ask questions or to find answers to what was going on, they shot first. And that's become way too commonplace in our communities of color, in our black and brown communities, where people are seen as disposable and dispensable. And yet, that officer who shot the gun, that fired the bullets, that killed Luis Lopez, was never charged with any crime. In fact, the FDLE behind us didn't even find any wrongdoing at all. Not even just no charges, no wrongdoing at all, not even a slap on the wrist. They did nothing, the FDLE said. These police did nothing wrong. And so they spent a few months on vacation, paid vacation, and now they're back on the streets. We think that's unacceptable. On May 16th, Tyrone Bartley was in his bedroom in a multifamily dwelling in which he lived when the Orange County SWAT team showed up. They showed up guns a-blazing, they banged down his front door, and by the time they got to his bedroom and he opened the door, they shot him. Within 3 seconds of him opening his bedroom door, they shot him.
Open the door now. With a search warrant. Open the door now. Police. Hands up. Police. Hands up.
Stand Flynn.
Put on your side.
I'm with you.
Robert, push left. Right. On your reach, we're up. Watch, hands up. Take the room.
He was also, by the way, unarmed. Luis Lopez was unarmed. The person who was in Luis's home was unarmed as well. Nobody in any of these instances was posing a single threat to the police who shot and killed them. And what's worse is Tyrone had nothing to do with the reason that SWAT was there to begin with. They were there because they had a warrant for somebody who lived in another room in this multi-family dwelling. He was the victim of a botched SWAT raid but mainly he's a victim of Orange County Sheriff's Office policy of shoot now, ask questions later, especially when it comes to black and brown people in our community. And the men who killed Luis and Tyrone are not being held accountable. They're not being held accountable in any way, not by the FDLE. They have both released their investigations and have said there's no wrongdoing. So where does that leave us now? That leaves this case in the hands of our state attorney. Our state attorney has the power to bring charges and investigate these shootings, right? Police are not above the law. Are police above the law in this country, in this county? Does Orange County believe in due process of law? Does the state attorney? Does she believe in the system of which she's a part?
Good question.
Because if she does, then she should be moving forward with an investigation and bringing charges against these folks who murdered people in their own homes. At the very least, these charges need to be brought up and let a jury of their peers hear the evidence and render a decision the way this would go down if anybody else had shot those bullets into those homes that killed those innocent men. That's what we are demanding, that charges be brought against the persons who shot and killed Luis and Tyrone. And we look to the state attorney now to make that happen. That is how justice can be upheld for Luis Lopez and Tyrone Bartley and their families. So I say we demand justice. You say how. You say charge the killer cops now. We demand justice. You say how. Charge the killer cops now. We demand justice. You say how.
Charge the killer cops right now.
We demand justice.